spirit of service to our community. May we be guided by wisdom, patience, and genuine desire to do what is right for the people we represent. May we listen with open minds, speak with respect, and approach our work with humility. Help us remember that the decisions we make affect families, children, neighbors, and future generations who call this community home. May we be thoughtful stewards of the trust placed in us. Give us the courage to seek understanding, the clarity to weigh complex issues carefully, and the passion to consider those who may be struggling or unheard. Let our work tonight reflect the best of who we are as a community. May we strive to build a city where every person has the opportunity to live safely, learn fully, and thrive. With gratitude for the opportunity to serve, let us move forward together in the spirit of cooperation and care for one another.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Right. Now get to special presentations for this evening, and we'll go in the order that we have them. This Developmental Disability Awareness Month presentation by Patricia Dawson.
That's right.
Good evening.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. Yeah, my name is Patricia Dawson. I'm the Public Relations Coordinator for the Butler County Board of Developmental Disabilities. And with March being Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month, this was the right time to come and talk about who we are, who we support, and why that's so important. Okay, thanks. So, our mission is actively partnering with people to access the world. Once you start to understand the history of how we got here, you can see how profound that mission statement is. Prior to the 50s in Ohio, parents that had children with developmental disabilities had two options. They could keep them home and do the best they could with what little resources they had, or what the state offered was that they could send them to a state institution, and they would be raised in isolation, separated from their family, from their community, from everybody that they love. In the 50s, parents demanded better, and from that is what the county board system became. And Ohio is actually one of the few states that offers this county board system, so it's really extraordinary, and we're very proud for what we have and the opportunities that we've been able to give people with developmental disabilities so that they can access the world. A developmental disability is one that is a severe and chronic disability. It's likely to last a person's lifetime, and it develops before the age of 22. Some that you might be familiar with are autism, Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, but there are certainly more than that. And it can also include things like a traumatic brain injury, as long as that occurs before the age of 22. And there's certain markers. But I bring up these because that helps you place like somebody maybe that's in your world that has a developmental disability. We operate with a person-centered philosophy, which means what works for you, and we make sure we tailor our supports in that way. Sometimes that looks like helping a person find a job and then putting the supports in place that works for that. Sometimes it's something as wonderful as this story with Ray and Vicky. They reconnected later in life and then fell in love, and they wanted to get married. And our staff, along with their direct support staff, worked together. They took him ring shopping, took her wedding dress shopping. I was there. That actually was probably one of my favorite days that I've worked so far. And she just kept looking in the mirror. She's like, I'm just so beautiful. And it's like, girl, you are. But so they had a commitment ceremony. Our staff worked with them to put the things in place so that they can live together, that they have the supports there so that they can enjoy that. And now they're living their best lives. And part of that is that person-centered philosophy and that care that we took to individualize what that meant for each person. Our supports begin in the early intervention stage. That's ages 0 to 3. You guys might be familiar with Help Me Grow. That agency would connect families with the Butler County Board of Developmental Disabilities, and then we provide direct supports. So those are physical therapists, developmental specialists, occupational therapists, speech therapists. The really neat thing about the way we provide this support is It is a coaching model of care. So our staff will come into the child's natural environment and work with the parents and caregivers and give them the strategies that they need in order to help that child reach their milestones that they need. And the most conservative figure I've found for this is that for every dollar spent at the early intervention stage, $7 in savings is realized in adult supports. That's the most conservative figure I've seen. I've also seen some stats that show all the way up to like $30 in savings for every dollar spent. So that shows you how profoundly important this is. This is not a mandated support, which means that there is no other funding source carved out for this. We don't have to provide this, but we recognize the value of it. And so we've built that into our budget, and we're very proud that we've been able to provide that to families throughout Butler County. After age 3, a lot of those direct supports move into the school system. And then our support becomes, it's a service and support administration. You can kind of think of that as a case manager, but think back to Ray and Vicki. It is so much more than that. It is personalized. It's getting to know what each person needs. It's helping them to even realize what their goals might be and then identifying methods of doing that. One of the big ways that we connect people with support is through waivers. So again, prior to the 50s, you could live in a state institution, and those still exist, and for some people that's the right setting for that person, but by and large it's not. So today you can waive your right to live in an institution, and then that funding that was set aside for that person would then it takes place in the form of a waiver, and those dollars are used to connect people to services like transportation, home delivered meals, assistive technology, so much more. Those are funded 60% at the federal level, and then 40% is funded here through your local tax dollars. So I think that's an important thing to realize, like that is your tax dollars directly impacting the way people are able to access their world around them. Those waivers have actually started to become a really massive, or we've seen massive growth. We have 2 levies. One was passed in 2000, another was passed in 2004. And at the time of our levy passing in 2004, we had 250 people enrolled in waiver services. By 2024, that number had risen to 1,200. So we've seen significant growth. It's great. That's what we're here to do. But it also means that it's consuming a significant amount of our budget. So by our estimates are projecting that in 2026, 97.5% of the revenues that we bring in from those levies will go directly to those waiver supports. We also work with different entities throughout the community, and we have a team specifically that focuses on behavior supports, which helps a person, maybe they're struggling with transitions, and it's something so simple as this flip chart we see here that's guiding him to what's going to be next. And maybe if the thing he expected next doesn't happen, what are some options? Things like that. It sounds simple, but for somebody that can be very disruptive to, that can be a profound support. So we've got a team that focuses on that and helps people if they need a little extra support to be able to get out and embrace the world around them. That team has partnered with entities like Metro Parks in Butler County, Travel Butler County, to provide these, you can see this one here, that's a little social story, and it just prepares a person. This example is for Jungle Gyms, which I love Jungle Gyms, but that can be a sensory overload. So it just kind of gives some tips for a person who might be planning to visit Jungle Gyms and helps them to be able to experience that fully. We've got loads of these types of social stories on Butler County, Travel Butler County's site, and then Metro Parks is also working on that. Ohio is an employment first state, which means that when and where possible, we connect people with jobs. And if that's not the right setting, then we'll find something that is the right setting for them. This is so valuable because it creates independence for the people we support. It gives them a meaningful way to spend their time, but it also really contributes to our community. We've heard from so many employers that their most valued, loyal employees are the people that we've been able to connect them with. These are just a handful of the employers that we work with. One that recently has become a great employer to a lot of our folks is 80 Acres, which I'm sure you're all so familiar with, and they're just fantastic. We're also a technology-first state, which means where we can connect somebody with technology to provide supports, we're going to do that. This enhances independence, and it also is a massive cost savings. So these two ladies here in this picture, they live independently. Prior to using technology, they had a person come into their home and provide a little extra support. And now technology can take the place of that. So now they are safely in their home. This is the right setting for them. That's not the right fit for everybody, but for these two women, they've been able to achieve a certain level of independence, and they've been able to do it safely because there are remote supports being able to monitor them instead. We are also the Adult Protective Service Agency for people with developmental disabilities. So any instance of abuse, neglect, anything like that, our team works to investigate those situations and then works with law enforcement to help make sure that this population, which is very vulnerable, has a safety net. We've worked with so many organizations throughout the community. These are just a handful. And then, of course, this is a snapshot of our revenues and expenditures. Since we are a levy-funded agency, these are your tax dollars that's making all this happen, so I think it's an important thing to share. Also, if you recall when I was speaking about our waiver-funded services and that massive increase we've seen that increase at the same time as our revenue has stayed stagnant. We don't have inside millage, so when property values increase, our revenues do not. So with that in mind, and then seeing the stark difference in the expenses that we are managing now, in September of last year, we declared a fiscal emergency. Immediately, we started enacting multiple cost-saving measures. To date, that equates to $3.7 million. Some of that includes we have reduced our hours working, which then in turn reduces staff wages by about 7%. We've done hiring freezes, promotion freezes, and then as a final straw, we did have to cut some of the supports that we provide to people in the community. For that reason, we do have a ballot on we do have a levy issue on the May ballot. That'd be for a $2 million new continuing levy, which generates about $26 million. For a house valued at $100,000, that would be $70 per year, or $583 per month. Again, I bring this up because we are a levy-funded agency. It's your tax dollars that's providing this support, and it's an important thing for you to know about the support that you are directly providing. But again, the real reason for this presentation is that it's Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month, and we're out here trying to spread the word about who we are, who we support, and particularly we want to know, are there ways that we can partner with you in order to increase that access to this community for people with developmental disabilities? So thank you so much for allowing me to come up and speak with you, and if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Mr. Mayor?
Please.
Well, first of all, Patricia, thanks. I do appreciate you coming out and doing this. I encourage you to do this maybe a couple of times this year before the ballot. Patricia's also on the self board with me, so she does a lot of neat things. I got to give you a big shout out because, first of all, everybody, you guys all know my son who's sitting here, Evan. And, you know, you think about, you can wave, Evan, you're okay. But he's been, he's been in the program since I think about 4 years old and 15 months. Wow. Time goes, you're 34 now too. Well, my wife will correct me there on that one, but it's so a long time. And you think about, what this program does for him, but it does a lot for everybody else. For our family, it does a lot. He got the help that he needed. He's got into programs. He plays every kind of sports that DD is involved somehow with, Challenger baseball, with Special Olympics, with ability to thrive. He keeps us very busy, and it's because of you guys, which the information you put out there, and for people to. They have to understand that this is important when you have a child or a young adult now, that you have to make sure that they keep busy in their life. And I don't know what he would do if he didn't have all this, and what we would do. Drive me crazy. Yeah, you would. And he knows that, but it's but he gets out and meets so many people through the program, and I appreciate that. I've had people come up and said, well, you know, why should I pay this a month when I don't have a kid in the program? And that kind of irritates me a little bit. And you made a good point about in your world, you will know somebody, somehow you're touched by a developmental disability. It doesn't matter. You can look all the way around you. Somebody's got even a light form of autism spectrum. So you're touched by it. And what they do helps that person you're touched by. And you're talking, you haven't asked for anything since 2004. I mean, how many people are asking you every year for things? And they're asking you for a little to give a lot. So I'm going to advocate for y'all. I want you to make sure that you're back here again before the election. I will advocate for you being back here. And I want everybody that's watching and everybody sitting here, you know, please go out and vote yes for this. This is very important. Don't do it for me, do it for yourselves, because it does impact you. So thank you for being here tonight, and thanks for, again, all you do for my family and all these wonderful thousands of people I've met during the years. And I've met a lot of them, and found some of my best friends through this program. So good program, good people, hard workers. So make sure you go out and vote yes.
Hey, what's great about this is your photos up there. I know probably all of council knows folks in those photos. I mean, they work in the government building. You see them at Miracle League. You see them at church. I mean, we share a community. I mean, there's no doubt, but we share a community. And I gotta say, Evan, you've got your dad's sense of humor. But he's got a better bowling game than he does.
He's got a much better. He's getting pretty good at golf too. So, and he's a better baseball player than I am. So, and we're starting softball, right? Yeah. So,
Thanks for the education. Anybody else on council want to say anything?
Mr. Mayor.
Please.
Hey, thank you very much for presenting this. You said that $1 of investment goes how far?
The most conservative is $7 in savings in adulthood. Yeah.
I appreciate everything that's done. Being a teacher who has been in a self-contained, developmentally disabled classroom, they have been as much joy to me as I have to them. And I did have Evan in class, and what a wonderful person he has become. And I don't think he would have the confidence that he has without your guys' support.
he still gives
Appreciate
you
everything you do.
He still gives you a hard time that doesn't. He loves Lauer. I don't know why. So.
Mayor Mueller.
Please.
Ms. Dawson, thank you so much for being here and sharing all of this information. Like my colleagues, I am a big supporter of Butler County DD in my own profession, from working with Help Me Grow to referring students that are older, as I also work in the education system. Butler County DD caseworkers are angels on earth, in my opinion. So thank you so much for all that you guys do, not just within Hamilton, but also within our county. So thank you for being here.
Well, thank you all so much again for this opportunity. And, you know, I get the joy of talking about all the work that everybody's doing, but I also just get so much joy from being a part of this. So I really very much appreciate you all. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay. Next, we have a special person that we're going to get to know. And Councilmember Lauer, you want to head on down here while we bring up Tegan Harrington. Definitely. Family's got to come on up here.
We've got some great student athletes in this city,
great families too. We're going to hear about one of them. All right. We had some Hamilton High School athletes last week, and now we've got a Baden High School tremendous student athlete. And I think Mr. Lauer probably knows her pretty well and knows the feeling pretty well.
No upper. Very much so.
All right. Let's hear what he knows about you, okay?
It is such a pleasure to have you here today. You are absolutely a champion in a sport that is just now emerging. Very excited about your stats. 36-2, 25 plus pins. Unbelievable. Very happy that you could be here. But most importantly, you're a 4.0 student, National Honor Society. You got to be excited about that too. So knowing her father, Donnie, what a great guy, great parents. I don't know this one, but and they're led by Craig Martin and Rachel Nuske and Donnie here as well. But you guys have done a great job. You're at the beginning. You started with the program with Dexter, and then you've taken the program to a whole nother level, and it is appreciated. And I wish you the best of luck. I think that you're a pioneer, and now we've got 2 losses, right? Same girl.
Yep. So.
Who cares? This time's it. It's very difficult to beat someone that many times, and I have confidence that you're going to go out there and you're going to give your best effort. And I would love to see you walk out there and pin her. Do you understand? I would love to watch you pin her. You understand? And I think that you can.
So let's start off with the coach. You've had the opportunity to coach this young lady.
Yeah.
You got to say a few words about that.
So Tegan came in last year as a freshman, a ball of fire right out of the gate. She's been in the wrestling community now for a few years, coming up through elementary school and middle school. 2 years ago, we really made a push for female coaches, female wrestlers. Female wrestling in high school is one of the fastest growing sports in the nation. So she's came in a really great time. We have Coach Nuske, who we brought in to kind of women leading women through Baden Wrestling, and they've done a great job of continuing that, and back-to-back years of state qualifier, and it's she's outperforming what we could have asked for.
Okay, Coach Nuske.
Like you said, it's Tegan's second year. I'd say in the entire room, she's probably the hardest worker from the girls and the boys. She's in there every day. She's almost the last one to leave every single day. And we're really excited to see her run this year in the state tournament.
You're a sophomore. It's your second time going to state.
Yep.
I mean, that's tremendous. Plus, I mean, she's got a smile and a personality that just, I bet that changes on the mat, doesn't it?
A little bit.
Does it? Now, is your father over here? Before you talk, I want him to say a few words.
I'll just say it's been a pleasure to be able to see her grow up over these last few years. Baden's been a great community for her to step into. Staff has been great for her to work with. Rachel's been a great leader for her to see another women role model, an accomplished wrestler herself. So it's just been a fun journey to be able to be a part of this and see her do so much success.
Read this a little bit about her for Phil and a few more notes about her. City of Hamilton, Ohio. This is certified that Tegan Harrington of Baden High School Wrestling is hereby awarded the certificate of recognition for her successful season, placing first in the GCL with a 36-2 record, including over 25 wins by pin. So 25 out of 36 were pins. Earning third place at the districts, maintaining a 4.0 plus GPA as a member of the National Honor Society, and with best wishes as she competes in the Ohio, I think I know what it stands for, but let's just say OHSAA State Tournament, signed by myself as mayor, acknowledged by all members of council, and I hope you make the podium. I really do. And whatever medal it is, we're going to be cheering for you. Where are you going to be wrestling at?
The Shawnee Skate Center.
Oh, Columbus. Cool.
Wow.
Okay. This is for you. Thank you. Now, are you ready to say a few words? Sure. You can do it.
I just want to say that I am so beyond grateful for this opportunity, and thank you so much to my coaches and to my family and my entire support system. It means the absolute world to me to be able to make it to state 2 times in a row and to have the opportunities I have and to do how I do in school and just have the best coaches in the world, honestly. And thank you so much for bringing me out here and giving me this opportunity to receive this award. Thank you so much to everybody.
Thank you. We'll see you next year about this time.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
When you're a senior.
Yup.
There'll be a picture somewhere. Thank you again. Tremendous.
Mallory, get a picture. She's.
Oh. Starber wants to do a picture. This is really cool. So when do you wrestle today?
Friday.
There you go.
All right. Thank you, coaches.
City Councilor.
Good luck.
Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome.
Thank you. Mr. Mayor, can I say one thing real quick?
Sure, go ahead.
Jenny, before Jenny leaves, I forgot to notice you, Jenny, man. She does so much with the DD too, and I forgot to mention you because you might yell at me later, but no, but she is so instrumental in this program too, and I forgot to mention you. Thank you so much. You're welcome.
Thanks for being here.
Take care. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay.
Yeah, I slept quite a bit.
Next is Boys and Girls Club, Hamilton, 2026 Youth of the Year, as well as a report on some organizational updates by Tommy John and the Boys and Girls Club.
Good evening. While we're getting started here, our Youth of the Year are actually going to approach council with some information about our organization and a gift for everyone.
Motion to receive.
Second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye to receive these. Aye. Opposed? Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Good seeing you again.
You'll get to hear from our incredible youth leaders here in just a few minutes.
Thanks, Miriam.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, first, before getting started, I want to acknowledge the incredible people that just came up and presented before me. Boys and Girls Clubs of Hamilton is supportive of all of our youth. We have a space for all youth and a safe place, and we do have youth in our program who I know are part of the programs with Butler County DD. My wife works for Every Child Succeeds and helped me grow, and so that's important to Boys and Girls Clubs of Hamilton as well as our family. And Boys and Girls Clubs of Hamilton has a very strong partnership with Baden as well, where we had 4 volunteer groups that just presented at the Stang Symposium last week to talk about the incredible volunteer work and incredible partnership that we have there. And you'll get to hear from 2 Hamilton High students tonight. So keeping on the theme of partnership. Before we get started, I want to level set and give our mission. So Boys and Girls Club's mission is to enable all young people, especially those who need us most, to reach their full potential as caring, productive, and responsible citizens. And when we say all young people, that means all young people. 3 years ago, before I arrived, the organization only served youth ages 6 to 12. Well, we've changed that. 3 years ago, we started allowing teens to come to our program. We now serve youth age 6 to 18. On our most recent annual report, we reported 256 teen members. So from 3 years ago, having 0 to now 256 teen members, and with the plan to serve more, that's something that we're very, very proud of. And our values. We base every single decision that we make for our youth and for our staff and for our community off of these values. Teamwork, memories, friendship, family, and fun. And if I didn't say fun like that, Brittany would probably tell on me to the rest of the staff until I get in trouble. But no, if it doesn't match these values, we don't make that decision. It's that simple. And I know that the decisions that you all make as leaders in our community are based in our values and as our city. As a nonprofit and in the community, we also have values where we make decisions, and if it isn't good for our youth and our staff, it doesn't match these things, we don't do it. It's that simple. In a recent study with Voinovich School of Business at Ohio University, we calculated that for every dollar of investment for Boys and Girls Clubs in local communities, that sees a $35.16 return over the life of the investment. What does that mean? How is that calculated, right? It's good to show that. It's good to work with OU on that study to give us this number. But what that means is that families aren't having to choose between whether or not they're paying for childcare or getting a second job. Right? All of our services are completely free. We have athletic leagues, we have snack, we have dinner programs, 5 days a week, open all summer. We don't charge families $1 for anything. Nothing. Not even a 12-hour a day summer program. We don't even ask them to fill out paperwork to do income verification. It's free. It's a service for our youth, and it's an amenity for families who live in our community. That also means that families, while their child is at school, maybe can get a second job if they would like to. That also means you talk about bridges out of poverty and helping our whole city rise together. Having childcare is a big part of that. It also means that maybe some families or caregivers can go back to school at Miami Regionals. We have such a great program and a great asset in our community, and they can increase their earning power, right? My biggest hope as a Hamiltonian is that I start to see more people from our community downtown and at events, and I know that that's a hope for all of you as well, and I think it starts with earning power. I think it starts with having amenities like childcare. Just to outline our leadership team, we have a pretty incredible leadership team, and we have 5 club locations. So Coach Simmons is a club director at our Grand Club. Coach is a 35-year retired educator that moved up here from Florida. He also still works at Trine University and actually helped recruit and send 1 Hamilton student and 1 Baden student to Trine University last year to play football. So our staff go beyond the walls of our programs. Montessa Morgan is a former club kid and an educator. She's our club director at our Highland Club, and that's of course in partnership with Highland Elementary and the school district. Amber Sneed is our club director at our East Club. She is a former D1 women's volleyball player, basketball player, coach at UMass, and her family, the Sneed name is very much known in the Jefferson neighborhood and community, as well as Princeton Athletics, where I think her family is in the Hall of Fame with Princeton Athletics, I'm pretty sure. And Doug Ware is our club director at our Linden Club. He's been with our organization for 26 years. So you think about the not just youth today that he's affecting, but adults now. He gets parents that come back in and say, I remember when you were my club director. Think about that long-lasting impact and what that means. CJ Owensby is our club director at our Witten Woods Club. And CJ comes to us from Boys and Girls Clubs of Northeast Ohio, where he was the club director at the LeBron James Club in Akron, and has a real passion for serving teens and has done an incredible job with getting our Witten Woods Club started just this year, where they're already serving about 65 teens a day. And Dr. Jeff Jordan is our director of operations. He comes to us from Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Cincinnati and is an incredible leader. He kind of serves as an assistant superintendent, if you would think about it like that, and all of these club directors report directly to him, but he makes sure our facilities are safe. He makes sure that our team has what they need to be successful. So before I can even tell you more about our organization, I have to tell you the secret to our success as an organization is our people. And it's compensating people fairly, and it's ensuring that there's a trajectory for their career, and it's creating a culture where they're treated equitably and fairly, and that's a big part of the work that we do. You can't achieve great outcomes for youth if you don't have great people that they want to come to see every day, right? Because we can have great programs and great facilities, but at the end of the day, the kids are coming to see Mr. CJ. They're coming to see Mr. Doug. They're coming to see Coach Amber. They're coming to see Coach Simmons, right? Those are people they look forward to seeing. Just to outline our 5 club locations and which schools they serve. Our Highland Club, serving Highland Elementary. We're very thankful for our partnership with Hamilton City Schools. 3 years ago, we only had 2 locations serving about 60 kids a day. We now have 5 locations serving almost 300 kids a day. So incredible transformation and change. Our Linden Club serving Linden Elementary. Our East Club serves Riverview, Bridgeport, Fairwood, and Richard Allen. Our Grand Club serves Crawford Woods, Garfield Middle, Hamilton Freshman, and Hamilton High School. And our Witten Woods Club serving Witten Middle and High School locations. So just want to give you some context on where the clubs are. I'm sure that I know a lot of you know where our Grand Clubs are and where our East Clubs are, but where do the students come from? How do they get there? Which schools are being supported by those locations? That sheet that our Youth of the Year dropped off to you, some of our organization outcomes, which I'm sure that's not the first time that some of you have seen that. How do we do all that? Well, it's done by our strategic plan. I know the city has a strategic plan. I know there's a lot of other incredible nonprofit leaders who have been here tonight and are in this room, and they have strategic plans. Well, so do we. And ours can be broken down to 3 simple things: world-class clubs, life-enriching programs, caring adult mentors. When I say that in a different way, that means you got to have a place for them to go that is a nice place, that is taken care of, and that represents the hope that we see in our kids. You got to have great programs that challenge them to grow outside of their immediate neighborhood and street and see the world and be a world citizen. And you have to have caring adults that are trained and that are prepared to work with our youth in meaningful ways. That's that sheet there. One of the things I just want to hit on, and we won't go through everything, but our community outreach has been another secret point of how the organization has grown. We made it a point the past couple of years to be everywhere, and we have, and you can see by how many youth we've served through community outreach programs, 220 to 2740. That's a big difference. That means we're at Operation Pumpkin, right? That means we're at the Eclipse when it happened with our mobile club a while back. That means we're at every single community event we can be. That means we have a partnership with the Hamilton Parks Conservancy, where we serve youth 5 days a week in our parks all summer long with our mobile club program and Feed Kids. And we're available for mentorship and games and a safe place in our parks. And that's been transformational because the community momentum and families realizing what an asset our organization is to them as a family, I think has been pretty critical. And a big part of that is the community outreach. This is our East Avenue Club, our East Club, which has been in existence for about 65 years. The pool is non-operational years before I arrived here in Ohio. And it was time for a change and a facelift and an upgrade. And we're very happy to make a large investment into our exterior of our facility, which will complement the exciting things that are happening at Jefferson Park, that a lot of residents are working to have barbecues and art in the park and different events and utilize that park. And we hope that our space is complementary of the work that's happening there. And that's what it will look like. Thanks in partnership with the City of Hamilton, Community Design Alliance, and one-time strategic capital investment fund through Governor DeWine's office. You'll see a new fence, you'll see a basketball court, you'll see ADA compliant ramps, which I'm very proud of. This building's been grandfathered in, being 65 years old. The building did not have ADA compliant access and now will as part of this renovation. And we'll have a nice covered seating area, which will be open for the community to utilize. So another asset for our Jefferson community, as well as our youth who utilize the program every day. If you're at the Hamilton Neighborhood Summit, you probably got to paint on this a little bit, and I hope all of you made your mark and you're all muralists now. But this is in partnership with Art Cincinnati as well as 17 Strong. This is a rendering of the side of the mural that will go on the side of our Grand Club, 17 neighborhoods, 1 community. And so if you look closely, you can see that all 17 neighborhoods are represented on this mural. And that's not the cool part. The cool part is that our muralists will be bringing them around to every single neighborhood in Hamilton and asking people to be involved, to paint, to make their mark. So this is not a mural that's painted on by 2 or 3 muralists. This mural is going to be painted on by thousands and thousands of hands, and unique, and it will be the only mural of its kind in Hamilton. If you look at the side of the building as well, you can see how it's very difficult to paint the side of that building. It's called flute block. So what we did was these are actually going to be installed on 24 different panels, and they're going to be installed on standoffs. So they'll stand slightly off the edge of the building, and then everyone that drives down Grand Boulevard will be able to see this incredible mural and reminder that even though we live in different neighborhoods, we might have different beliefs, we might do different things in our personal lives, that we're still one community and one Hamilton. Focusing in on our caring adult mentors, we've made a very large investment in our trauma-informed care culture. Being trauma-informed means that we can be responsive to the needs of our youth, no matter what they're going through. So we sent a large number of folks on our team to a trauma-informed intensive in Wisconsin that was a week long, where we got to learn from experts in the field. And those team members from our team have then been training the rest of our team through a series of 5 all-staff trainings. And then additionally, we're making an investment in our spaces, where we're lucky to partner with Cohatch, where we're actually going to be moving our administrative offices out of our East Avenue Club and into Cohatch, And then with the old office space, we're going to be creating a sensory room in one of our locations. We've also put safety, calming corners in most spaces, positive affirmation, and changed the way that we relate to some youth. I've been doing this for work with youth and teens for 15 years. And I always would ask the kids, how you doing today? How was lunch? How was school? And so I learned about something called after-school restraint collapse, where from the time that a child's woken up in the morning, every minute of their day's been scheduled. That's a lot, right? It's a lot for us as adults. It's a lot for a 9-year-old. And so what we learned at our trauma-informed intensive is that instead of saying, can you tell me what you ate today? Can you tell me something positive about your day? What'd you learn? Just say, I'm happy that you're here today. I value that you made it here today. Thank you for making the decision to come today and be a part of our program, and letting kids know that you value them being there, because you never know what they've been through prior to your arrival, and asking them another question could be the thing that pushes them over the edge that day, because maybe they've had a very long day with a lot of people asking them questions and putting a lot of pressure on them. And so our culture, being trauma-informed, has been a game changer for our relationships that our staff are building with our youth. One program that I want to make sure that I share with you is our Club Scholars program. So a few years ago, we decided that we need to create a new position to really increase our ability to do academic enrichment with our kids in a very meaningful way. And so we created our Club Scholars initiative, and that started with creating the position of teacher at our organization. That picture is of Miss Jean. She's our teacher at our Grand Club doing tutoring, and it's not just tutoring or homework help, it's targeted academic intervention, where each child has a folder that we keep on file, and it's closer to casework than it is homework help. Every single child has an individual education plan, and we collect the report cards from the school district to make sure that we're measuring growth and outcomes. And so over the course of this program, we've seen for every 1 month that a child is in the program, that they're seeing 3.1 months progress in reading and 3.6 months of progress in math. And so those numbers are something we're very proud of. I'm excited to announce that with the support of the Hamilton Community Foundation, that we're going to be expanding the Club Scholars program to all clubs. So this year, every single club in our organization will have a certified teacher working after school 25 hours a week with our kids. So very, very big change in our organization culture, and excited about that investment. All right. As I mentioned, we had some youth leaders come up and they gave you some pins and some outcome sheets. I want to tell you a little bit about our Youth of the Year program before I introduce our Youth of the Year. Our Youth of the Year is the highest honor our club member can receive, and they receive that honor by writing a cover letter, resume, essays, collecting reference letters from the community, giving a 3-minute speech, and completing a 15-minute interview. So this year, we're lucky enough to have an incredible Youth of the Year and also a Youth of the Year runner-up for our organization, both of which will be coming with me in a couple weeks to Columbus to compete against 14 other Youth of the Year from Boys and Girls Clubs across the state. Some of you might remember meeting Demarion a few years back, our incredible Youth of the Year, that he actually won the state competition and showed people that voices from youth in Hamilton matter too. It's not just the big 3 C's, as I've learned in Ohio, Cincinnati, Columbus, and Cleveland, that get a lot of the attention, but I think our kids in Hamilton are pretty special too. So to give you an update on Demarion, he's actually double majoring in business. He's in business and fashion design and is at Bowling Green, and has been doing a fantastic job representing our city and pursuing his passion. So I wanted to give you an update on him. So first I'm going to introduce Nicolette, and she's going to come up and give her speech, and then after Nicolette, we'll have Miriam come up. But before I have them come up and give you a little bit of background, their GPAs are both above 4. I didn't know that they went that high. Back when I went to school, they didn't. I definitely wasn't close to that. Also, both of them are part of every single club you could possibly imagine, including Upward Bound, which is a part of the partnership that Boys and Girls Club has with Dr. Hopkins and Miami University to help us find students who were club members that stopped coming when they aged out of the program and now are welcome back. And so we're very thankful for Dr. Hopkins and our partnership with Upward Bound, but I have a feeling that these two are going to accomplish great things in their future. They're already accomplishing great things now. Miriam not only attends Hamilton High School, but also attends Miami University as a junior. And so I couldn't be more proud of our two incredible young leaders. And with that, I'll introduce Nicolette to come on up and give her Youth of the Year speech. So Nicolette.
When I come up here, there are some things you immediately notice. Maybe my speech impediment or my Hispanic name that clashes with my white skin. What you didn't notice is the bullying I've faced for having a speech impediment, or the rejection I've met from a community that's supposed to be mine. First impressions help us understand new things. Mine told me the world can be cruel and dark. They say you don't believe in light when you've lived in a cave. I didn't believe in safety when I had none, or in love when I felt none. I didn't know I had a voice when nobody listened. I've lived in the richest houses and slept on the dirtiest streets. I saw how children with nicer clothes got more opportunities, but how women in gold got battered. I saw how my parents' hard work to build new lives was so easily reduced to a pretty face and dark skin. I see the taser in my bag when walking down the street because a man decided for me that my words were meant to be heard by nobody but the mildew in a basement. I saw all these things, yet I was scared to speak up under the impression that silence was safety. But silence isn't something we choose. It's something that's forced on us. Everyone's story has a message, but not everyone is given a voice. As a Hispanic woman and the second youngest of 10 children, I learned this very early on. Luckily, I got my voice through my Boys and Girls Club. I moved often as a child, and the club was my one constant until life pulled me away for years. I forgot what it was like to be part of a community until a team of representatives came to my school, and my friend pushed me to go with her. I'm so grateful she did, because I was in a state of bleak acceptance that nothing I said or did mattered. I expected to see kids on their phones and adults watching the clock, and instead I learned that the Boys and Girls Club is a place of connection. My mentors took the time to build a real connection with me and saw the confidence I couldn't. Because of them, tears turned into laughter, isolation into belonging, and I finally had a place where my voice was valued. They inspired me to find my voice and speak out in my school and community even when my voice shook. That's why I stand here today with the club, not with the perfect story or all the answers, but with the responsibility to make that same first impression that helped me so much, that this is a safe place to speak up. What was once my hidden gem, I want to be everyone's standard. When I tell you I've been held hostage, when I tell you I didn't have a mother until I was 13, when I tell you I stepped away from the ledge, you will not see a silent victim. You will see that I am strong. That's what I want to see in today's youth. The confidence that they're worthy and capable of accomplishing great things. I'm proud of my scars because they show that I've shattered my glass ceiling. I want to use my platform to change people's impressions by showing them they have a voice. If we can change the expectations from fear to safety, from judgment to strength, we won't just be changing the conversation, we'll be changing lives.
Thank you, Nicolette. Miriam, would you like to give your speech? Come on up.
I know what it feels like to drown. The fear, the dread, and worst of all, the helplessness. In the 3rd grade, I had to call the police on my father. Drip, drip, drip. I'm in the bathroom. I can hear the screaming of the thuds. 911, what's your emergency? I can't speak. The fear and the noise drown me out. I try to breathe. My voice trickles out. Splash. My head is above water. Laughter fills the air as the other girls and I continue playing mermaids. We are in the pool. When I did not have a safe space at home, I always had one at the club. 3rd grade was one tumultuous time. When most kids were worried about what toys to play with next, I was too busy making sure me and my brother were safe. Home life was riddled with violence and school wasn't much better. When you are young and do not fit nicely into one category or another, it makes you a target. But the summer I spent at the Boys and Girls Club made a splash, changing the trajectory of my life. It was my first safe space, not a space to flinch and hide, but rather a space to laugh and play. My biggest worry was what toys I'd play with next and what games I'd play in the pool, somewhere so different from anywhere I'd ever been before, somewhere that brought me to shore. 60% of children experience violence in childhood. No one should have to experience that, let alone a child. I want to help make a difference and make sure that every child has a space to feel like a kid, a space to grow up. With the help of the Boys and Girls Club, I am going to make a difference. I am going to make the splash in other people's lives, helping them see the world for what it could be, helping change their perspective. for a place that gave me the confidence to regain my voice and the confidence to speak up for others. I want to continue making that difference. As the club has dramatically impacted and changed my life, I want to make that the standard. I want to make the Boys and Girls Club, I want to continue ensuring that every kid no longer has to feel like they're drowning. I'm no longer in the boat or in the water, but rather in the boat helping take those drowning to shore.
I think they speak for themselves when it shows what happens when people collaborate, nonprofits collaborate, and we as adults figure out the red tape that stops certain things from happening in our community. And power of collaboration means that we can support our youth, we can empower their voice, and they can be advocates for their own future. And I look forward to one of them being in one of your seats one day. That's my biggest hope. And so if there's questions for myself or Nicolette or Miriam, we would love those. If not, we'd love to take a picture with council if that would be okay.
That'd be fine, but let's make a few comments first. You two are brave. You're confident. You're speaking up. So you are making a difference by speaking up and leading. And if that's what the Boys and Girls Club are doing with youth, Boys and Girls Club is succeeding. But you two are just great examples of, like I said, bravery, strength, and the courage to speak up. Thank you. Anybody else on council want to speak before?
Echo everything he said. You had them both memorized, didn't look at your notes. You could tell that you really lived it. And that is so special how you relate it. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor.
Please.
Good luck, Miriam, and thank you, Nicolette, for sharing with us. Thank you.
All right. You want a picture?
We'll keep you updated on their journey. You can follow on our Facebook page. You'll see all the things that Nicolette and Miriam do in Columbus. So we'll keep you updated.
And when is that again, Tommy?
April 12th.
Okay.
So we stand up.
It's April 14th and 15th. Okay.
Thank you. They give good handshakes too and good eye contact. They're learning all kinds of stuff. You know?
Good luck to you. Thanks for coming tonight. And good luck. Good to hear it again second.
If you have business cards, they'll bring you guys next time.
Okay, that takes care of special presentations. Now go to audience. Citizens, individuals who wish to speak may make comments during this part of the agenda or may reserve the right to speak when the item is up for a vote on the council floor. All individuals who intend to address City Council are required to sign this blue public speaking book. We have 5 people who signed. Each speaker is allowed up to 5 minutes, and our guidelines about speaking are in the book that was signed. Now, first, Anne Marie and Jim. I guess you folks are together, right? These are 2 of our great business people in the city of Hamilton. Okay.
We certainly didn't see that coming.
That's a tough act.
Yeah, incredibly tough act. Honestly, we just wanted to take a few minutes because I think we missed the deadline to get on the agenda and bring some awareness to what goes on around here for St. Patrick's Day. More than just what you think might go on for St. Patrick's Day, and invite everybody to come out. This is the 5th year that we'll be doing the Odora Dash, which is certainly about beer, but the 4th year that we're doing the Ohio's shortest St. Patrick's Day parade. And I think one of the reasons why Jim and I love all that we do for St. Patrick's Day, there is absolutely certainly a celebration of Irish heritage and all that. But true to Hamilton form, it's much more about bringing the community together in whatever way, shape, or form people want to come together. And I think the parade is a great example of that. Boys and Girls Club, Inspiration Studios, we have Britain's Battalion joining us this year, who the beneficiary of Concert for a Cause. The Hamilton Fire Department helps us pull this thing off, and it's just a really fun, lighthearted, much more lighthearted way of pulling everybody together. So I brought some flyers. I won't approach. I'm just going to leave them out here for you guys. Just encourage folks to come out. It really is more than just a drinking day, and that's one of the things that when we set out to create this a few years back, we certainly wanted to keep people up in Hamilton, away from downtown, right? Keep people keep people safe, but make it more than just about the beer.
Yeah. So also our homebrew club will be in the parade, and also with the Odora Dash, a portion of the proceeds do go to a charitable cause in town. So it's good times for good causes is kind of what the mantra and the theme of a lot of these collaborations that we've done with various businesses. We will be tapping our Lay Oak, which is an Irish stout that we make with Lay Oak is Celtic for hero. And we brew that with members of the Hamilton Fire Department. We've done that since we've opened, and we're going to do that again this year. Or we've done it again. It'll be tapped and ready to go. So we just encourage everybody to come on out. And again, good times for good causes.
Jim, date, time, and place?
St. Patrick's Day, 17th. We'll be opening, I believe, at 9 a.m. and then the parade will start at 10. The Odora Dash will start immediately following, so probably around 10:30 because it's not a long parade.
Are you tapping on?
We're actually tapping this weekend, so it's ready to go.
Yep. It's going to be cold, so that's another reason why it's supposed to drop to 30, and it'll be about 20 at parade time. Yeah, so it's going to be cold, and that's one of the reasons why we wanted to make an extra special push to brave the cold a little bit. We're making some adjustments to how we get people signed in and how we get the winners of the dash identified. So we'll be doing all the weights, et cetera, inside. We will take care of people as much as we can, get them out of the cold. But again, a great way to come out, represent the city, represent the organization, and just represent all the greatness that we're about. So.
Thank you for all the events that the two of you and others collaborate on, not just for St. Patrick's Day, but year-round. These are also your turkey drop folks as well. I mean, and other events that are done, like you said, for great causes, but it shows collaboration, it shows partnership, and it's a heck of a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. I will mention this year, the Odora Dash, and we're going to be doing some other raffles, et cetera, benefit, if you folks know Lauren Green and Dave Ferguson. So we're honoring two Markham ambassadors. They live in the Markham apartments, and they are two of the biggest supporters of the Markham businesses. Dave is facing a really significant health challenge, very unexpected health challenge, and we felt it was a really good opportunity for the Markham community to wrap our arms around them the way they wrap their arms around us the other 364 days during the year. So if you can come out and they're the grand marshals of the parade and the recipients of the funds. So if you can come out and kind of high five Dave and wish him well as well in his battle right now, I think that would mean a lot to both of them.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you, guys.
Cheers.
I'm going to leave these here.
Okay, next we have Harold Peets. Good evening. Give us your name and your address and
Good evening, everybody. My name is Harold Peets. For those that may not know that, I'm sure everybody here is getting used to me every council meeting. I live at 1288 Elizabeth Drive. Again, I am asking the city council to drop this ordinance on low-speed vehicles and adopt the state requirements on it, the state ordinance, which happens to be Ohio Revised Code 4511.214. I understand that the thought process in adopting this language, but I think it's trying to fix a problem that doesn't exist, number one, because there is no data on the safety issues. There is no incidents that I'm aware of that I've been able to get aware of from anybody. And I don't think it was thought through completely. Now, I know at the last meeting, Mayor, you said I gave you food for thought.
You did.
Have you had a chance to digest that?
I have thought about it.
Are you ready for another serving? It's my play on words.
Wow, man.
Did you like that?
Please. Continue, please.
And Joel, I'm taking you off the hot seat, okay? Thanks. But the problem is, the way this language is currently written, you have effectively locked out a lot of the city from being able to operate one of these vehicles. And I mentioned some of them last week. In particular, Lindenwold is completely blocked off from going downtown. All the roads leading north are 35 or state routes or even higher. So you can't get to downtown from Lindenwold. Joel pointed out that there is a route from my house, but it's very ridiculous is the best way I can put it. But there are so many streets in this city that are locked out. I've got a list, and I'm going to go through some of them, but I don't want to take up too much time of it. If you live anywhere south of New London Road, you can't get anywhere. You're blocked out by New London. If you live in the subdivision on the west side off of Millville, in between Millville and Wasserman, behind the plaza there, you can't get anywhere because you can only get out of that neighborhood either onto Wasserman, which is 35, or Millville Avenue, which is 35, and a state route. You have streets off of Millville Avenue, Sweet Gum Drive, West Persimmon, East Persimmon, Mimosa Court, Hickory Woods, Timber Hill Drive, Petty Drive. The neighborhood in question between Wasserman and Millville has almost 16 streets in there that you can't leave that area because of the language. And of course, I'm going to reiterate again the sunrise to sunset rule that I think is ridiculous. I have a Jeep Wrangler. If I take the top off of my Jeep and I take the doors off of my Jeep, in essence, I'm not much different than one of these LSVs. And if I drove that around town at 25 miles an hour, would I be creating a safety hazard? Would you pull a vehicle over that's operating 25 miles an hour on a 35 mile an hour street? Well, no, there's no violation there. But what you're doing with this language is you're restricting a large portion of the residents of being able to have the opportunity, whether or not they have one. And you know, Mr. Knabb, you brought it up to me. You weren't at the last meeting, but you brought it up to me the meeting before. There might only be 10 of these vehicles in the city. We don't have a problem with them. There hasn't been a problem with them. Adopt the state ordinance or the state code, and let's see that for a year and see if there is a problem. I don't think there will be. I'm just not quite sure what the safety concern issue is. If it's just speed related, well, you're not going to have an issue out of any other vehicle driving 25 miles an hour. So why is there an issue with these? And to be honest with you, I've only slightly delved into the map on where these are restricted or what I consider locked out. I'm sure there are many, there are more. I'm running out of time, and I know last time I went over, so I'm going to try to stay in it this time. There are many, many more. I've just been concentrating on the part of the city where I live that I know the roads real well. And I'm sure when I delve into this, I'll have 5 minutes worth of the next 5 or 10 meetings that I can bring more and more examples to the table. And Lauren, I'm sorry I didn't recognize you out in the hallway when you said hi to me. You caught me off guard. I just wanted to let you know. So again, you said this is a pilot program and it could be changed at any time. I'm asking the council to change it and allow it. I can't even legally get my vehicle out of storage. Where I put it into storage over by Myers, it was legal at the time I put it in there, and my storage fee is coming up next month. So to legally move it out of there, I'm either going to have to continue paying storage, which they've just notified me goes up to $156 a month, or I'm going to have to rent a trailer that I can haul it back home. So, and it's just not fair to the city the residents that so many streets are locked out from being able to operate either out of their driveway or off of their street or out of their neighborhood to get anywhere else. So please reconsider this ordinance. It's trying to fix a problem that doesn't exist. My time's up. I'm done. If anybody has any questions or comments they want to ask me.
None here.
Nope.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Peets.
All right, thank you.
Next, we have Charles Atwood.
Hello, I'm Charles Atwood. I live at 65 Glen Cross Avenue in Hamilton. As you see here, I have citations from the city about rubbish in my backyard, which is behind a privacy fence. Nothing can be seen from the street. It's up to $4,000. One time, the first time, I cleaned up the backyard. I go out and clean up apartments and storage units, and I put everything in tubs, and they come by and he took a picture, and I called him up and I said, why am I getting this on my window again? He says, one of your tubs didn't have a cover on it. I go, what? That was why I got one of these. Next time, he come by and said, it's get put on my windows. I said, what's this for? He said, by your garbage cans. You got all this stuff there by your garbage cans. I said, yeah, they're getting thrown away tomorrow. I mean, it's just one after another that I was getting. And you can't see none of this stuff on the street. It's all behind a privacy fence. He actually went in my neighbor's yard without her permission to get around to take a picture behind the privacy fence. I called him up. I said, it's private. You should not be able to do this. This is private. A privacy fence means private. And I get noticed left and right. Like I said, I'm up to $4,000. And I think I'm getting picked on because I paid the first one at $250, and from then on, just constantly. This was all within a 2-year period. And it's got to stop. That's it.
Thank you. Mr. Mayor, please.
Oh, yes, sorry. I've talked to my lawyer, and he advised me to come down and talk to you first. Okay? I thought to bring it up.
City manager may have a comment to make at this point.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, I would like to get Mr. Atwood's information, just so we can follow up. I'm not familiar with the situation here, but we'll certainly look into it and see if we can provide some information and answers to you, sir. Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Next, we have Mackenzie Long.
Hi, Mackenzie Long, 1153 Heaton Street. I'm just back again to talk about the disapproval on the data center and the possibility of it at all. I found a new news article that was released on March 5th. What to Know About Data Centers and Why Communities Are Pushing Back by Neil Strabig, Memphis Commercial Appeal. And I just wanted to read this section to you guys. What damage does a data center cause? According to a 2024 report from the International Energy Agency, IEA, data centers accounted for approximately 4% of the nation's electrical grid, or 183 terawatt hours, roughly the equivalent of the entire country of Pakistan's electricity usage. That figure is expected to grow by 133% by 2030. According to the IEA report, the report estimates by the end of the 2030s, electricity demands for data centers will equal the combined production of aluminum, steel, cement, chemical, and energy-intensive good industries. A January 2025 report from MIT outlines data center electricity consumption to approach 1,050 terawatt hours in 2026, which would be on par with Japan's and Russia's consumption rates. The increase in power usage has caused utility bills to rise in communities with more data centers, That figure varies by region and is significantly higher in regions with higher density of data centers, such as Virginia. Nationally, the average utility bill has increased by 8%. As energy demands grow, utility costs are expected to continue rising into 2026 and beyond. Additionally, data centers, specifically hyperscale data centers, are expected to consume between 15.8 billion and 32.7 billion gallons of water by 2028. According to the 2024 U.S. Department of Energy report on U.S. data centers. The reliance on microgrids for power generation to meet data center energy demands has also been a growing concern due to reliance on fossil fuels. According to the 2024 IEA report, 40% of electricity supplied to U.S. data centers came from natural gas, 15% from coal. Another 20% came from nuclear power, and solar and wind only accounted for 24% of electricity supply, according to the report. The use of fossil fuels has been a point of contention, specifically due to the environmental concerns and an increase in carbon emissions, with some studies estimating that by 2030, data centers will emit 24 to 44 metric tons of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Those air pollution concerns have been a lightning rod for environmental advocacy groups here in Mid-South, as XAI continues relying heavily on gas turbines to meet its power demands in Memphis and South Haven. On March 4th, Trump's administration announced the Ratepayer Protection Pledge, which would allow companies to negotiate separate rate structures with utility companies and state governments, and allow for the creation of off-grid power connections, such as microgrids. The Ratepayer Protection Pledge outlines a path for tech companies to power facilities with alternative grid connections. However, it does not outline environmental protections for communities that may be impacted by the increased water usage or environmental impacts from fossil fuel sources, such as gas turbines or coal power plants. I just wanted to come re-express what everything is happening, what all of these data centers are doing to communities and everything, and my distaste and how so many other people don't want this here in our community. And that's it.
Ms. Long, that was from the March 5th Memphis commercial appeal?
It was from an article done by Neil Strabig. It's titled, "What to Know About Data Centers and Why Communities Are Pushing Back." I only read one section of it, but it had a lot of really good information in it.
But you gathered that from what media source?
It cites a lot of information from the International Energy Agency.
Okay, yeah, you did reference a lot of the I guess the background resources. I thought it was in one article somewhere that you read from.
That's this. Yes, it's called "What to Know About Data Centers and Why Communities Are Pushing Back." I don't remember what
I thought you said March 5th,
news site
Memphis.
I got this from.
March 5th Memphis commercial appeal. It's probably a newspaper in Memphis or something like that.
I think so.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Thank you.
That takes care of our audience and citizens. And now I go to the consent agenda, and that includes matters of all staff reports, caucus reports, and meeting minutes. We're going to go into committee of the whole. The city council can ask questions and comment on various reports given to us by our city administration. I'll accept the motion that the regular meeting be recessed and the committee of the whole take place.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Councilmember Pullman, seconded by Councilmember Fear. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Hearing none, that motion is carried at 7:17. City Clerk, you want to take us through the consent caucus agenda?
Yes, sir. Our first report will be a verbal report from our Executive Director of Neighborhood Services, Ms. Liz Hayden.
Good evening. So I don't have a slide for you, I'm sorry, but
the item that I'm discussing tonight is the first item on the caucus agenda, which is about formally approving and adopting the Street Spark mural program as a City of Hamilton, Ohio public arts project, and appointing the Fitton Center for Creative Arts as the official arts advisor and program manager for the program. So you're probably wondering why this is here, because it's the Street Spark program has been around for a while. My understanding is that nothing's changing, but this is just something that we hadn't done. We have agreements with them for each individual mural and an agreement for funding every year, but they've done a lot of projects even on our own property, including like utility boxes and things like that. And our law department thought this would be a good idea to make it official and bring it to you all 10 years later. Any questions?
It's amazing it's been 10 years of
Yeah.
tremendous murals. Wow.
And they will be coming, the Street Spark will be coming, I think, next meeting to present on a new mural. So that'll be much more exciting.
Will they have a slide?
They'll have a slide. maybe a couple.
Thank you.
Next up for items 2 and 3, we'll have a presentation by our planning director, Ms. Laura Nelson.
Good evening, Mayor and members of council. So 2 items for you this evening. The first is a recommendation to approve and update the City of Hamilton Urban Renewal Area Plan. So just a very quick sort of summary of what this is as a reminder. This plan was originally adopted in 1972. It's amended and updated as necessary to ensure that it continues to align with the city's goals as a whole. The Urban Renewal Area Plan establishes the boundaries of the urban renewal area, and this area is developed to address issues associated with disinvestment and blight. The first major expansion to the urban renewal area since 1985 was completed in 2019. This plan gets reviewed every 5 years. So the version that's in front of you today to recommend approving this update, there's no really significant changes to the plan. There's a little bit of cleanup and clarification in the language after law review, but based on a review of the 2024 census tract data, there's no changes to the actual boundary of the urban renewal plan area, the area itself. I'd be happy to answer any questions about this. Here is outlined in red. This shows you the boundary of the current urban renewal area, and this is not changing in the plan.
Questions? Thank you.
Okay. And next up is a recommendation to approve the disposition of property located on South 2nd Street. So this is a large city-owned parcel outlined in red there, and the proposal is to sell that back portion that's sort of shaded in red just to the west of the alley there to the property owner that owns all of the yellow around it. And that is owned by Christian Center Hand of God Church, and their plan in acquiring this piece of the city-owned property. Just skip through this, sorry, this is the survey. I think the colorful picture is much easier to sort of understand what is happening there, but their proposal is to do a lot combination so that they own one larger piece of property there, and they have plans to construct an accessory building to serve their church congregation. It includes a worship hall, classroom, some office space, some storage space, restrooms, things like that. And I think important to note here that that alley access would be maintained for any future development that may happen on kind of the other 2/3 of that property that the city owns. And there is a drafted sale and development agreement for this proposed project. They have already identified funding for this project and are ready to move forward pursuant to council's approval of this proposal. Are there any questions?
Thank you.
Thanks.
And lastly, I'll cover items 4 and 5. Good evening, Daniel Tidyman, City Clerk. I've got two short items on the caucus agenda for this evening. These are both related to liquor permit applications that we've received. So as a quick run through of City Council's involvement with these liquor permits, the Ohio Revised Code provides legislative authorities such as City Council an opportunity to object to or not object to liquor permit applications. Since we've received these permits, we've provided an opportunity for city departments to review. This includes building, fire, health, and police. After they've completed their review, there's been no objections, so staff is recommending that council not object to these permits. So one is a new D5 liquor permit for Spine and Vine LLC located at 524 Main. It's in the red rectangular shaded section of the map there, located just next to Silkworm Tattoo on Main Street. So a D5 liquor permit is full service, so it's beer, wine, liquor sales to be consumed on premises. Do you have any questions about this one? No. Okay, and then number 5 on 2601 Pleasant Avenue, this is the Powerhouse Bar and Linen Walled. This is a D5 transfer, so it's a transfer from one permit holder to a new permit holder. The new permit holder is Rose Tavern LLC, and once again, for both these permits, staff has no objections. And the recommendation in your report is that you will not object to these. Do we have any questions on these?
Questions?
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll accept the motion. The committee of the whole be closed.
So moved. Second.
Motion made by Council Member Fear, second by Council Member Vaughn. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Hearing none, that motion is carried at 7:24. I accept the motion. The regular meeting be reconvened.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Council Member Nab, second by Council Member Fear. Roll call vote on that motion, please.
Moeller?
Yes.
Smallwood?
Yes.
Fear?
Yes.
Vaughn?
Yes.
Pullman?
Yes.
Nab?
Yes.
Lauer?
Yes.
Motion adopted, 7-0.
Regular meeting reconvened at 7:25. Now I'll accept the motion.
Mr. Mayor,
Council Member Pullman.
make a motion that with the exception of the items so noted, council receive the reports of the consent agenda and concur on the recommendation.
Second.
By Council Member Pullman, second by Council Member Fear. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Hearing none, that motion is carried at 7:25. We now go to council actions pertaining to legislative items. Now I'll accept the motion.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Vaughn.
I move that a note be made upon the minutes that each member of council was furnished a printed copy of each item of legislation prior to its being considered at this meeting.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Vaughn, second by Councilmember Nab. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Hearing none, that motion is carried at 7:25. We go to pending legislation. Agenda item number 6, second reading of an ordinance involving CDBG and home funds.
An ordinance approving the City of Hamilton's annual action plan update for fiscal year 2026 through 2027, delineating the statement of objectives and proposed use of community development block grant and home investment partnership program funds, and authorizing the submittal of said plan to the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD. Second reading.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Pullman.
I make a motion that the ordinance be adopted.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Pullman, second by Councilmember Lauer. We have a first and a second. Any discussion about this particular ordinance? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Moeller?
Yes.
Smallwood?
Yes.
Fear?
Yes.
Vaughn?
Yes.
Pullman?
Yes.
Nab?
Yes.
Lauer?
Yes.
Ordinance adopted, 7-0.
Go to agenda item number 7, second reading of an emergency ordinance involving the issuance and sale of revenue bonds in support of the Build Back the Block initiative.
An emergency ordinance authorizing the issuance and sale of taxable special obligation non-tax revenue bonds, Series 2026, of the City of Hamilton, Ohio, in a maximum principal amount of $2,500,000 to provide funds in support of the Build Back the Block initiative, providing for the pledge of revenues for the payment of such bonds, authorizing a certificate of award, a bond purchase agreement, and related transaction documents, authorizing other actions in connection with the issuance of such bonds and declaring an emergency. Second reading.
Mr. Mayor.
Councilmember Vaughn.
I move the ordinance be adopted. Second.
Motion by Councilmember Vaughn, second by Councilmember Lauer. Discussion or comments on this one? Hearing none. Roll call vote.
Moeller.
Yes.
Smallwood.
Yes.
Fear.
Yes.
Vaughn.
Yes.
Pullman.
Yes.
Nab.
Yes.
Lauer.
Yes.
Ordinance adopted, 7-0.
Here we go to agenda item number 8, which is a second reading of an ordinance involving the job classification hydroelectric plant maintenance mechanic.
An ordinance amending and supplementing Schedule F of the city's classification and compensation plan as set forth in the collective bargaining agreement with the International Union of Operating Engineers, Local 20, AFL-CIO, to establish the new classification position, hydroelectric plant maintenance mechanic, and authorizing the city manager to execute a memorandum of agreement with said bargaining unit related to the new classification, the second reading.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Nab.
I move the ordinance be adopted.
Second.
By Councilmember Nab, seconded by Councilmember Pullman. Comments on this one? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Moeller.
Yes.
Smallwood.
Yes.
Fear.
Yes.
Vaughn.
Yes.
Pullman.
Yes.
Nab.
Yes.
Lauer.
Yes.
Ordinance adopted, 7-0.
Go to agenda item number 9, the second reading of an emergency ordinance.
An emergency ordinance authorizing and directing the city manager to execute a master cooperative purchasing agreement with Omnia Partners Public Sector Incorporated to participate in said cooperative purchasing program for the purchase of goods and services and ratifying all past agreements under the program. Second reading.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Pullman.
I make a motion that the ordinance be adopted.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Pullman, second by Councilmember Fear. Discussion on this one. Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Moeller.
Yes.
Smallwood.
Yes.
Fear.
Yes.
Vaughn.
Yes.
Pullman.
Yes.
Nab.
Yes.
Lauer.
Yes.
Ordinance adopted, 7-0.
Go to agenda item number 10 under new legislation. 2 readings of an ordinance involving supplemental appropriations.
An ordinance making supplemental appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the City of Hamilton during fiscal year ending December 31st, 2026, first of 2 readings.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Lauer.
I'd like to make a motion that the rules be suspended and said ordinance be read a second time by its title.
Second.
By Councilmember Lauer, second by Councilmember Fear. Roll call vote on that motion, please.
Moeller.
Yes.
Smallwood.
Yes.
Fear.
Yes.
Vaughn.
Yes.
Pullman.
Yes.
Nab.
Yes.
Lauer.
Yes.
Motion adopted, 7-0.
Second reading of the ordinance, please.
An ordinance making supplemental appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the City of Hamilton during fiscal year ending December 31st, 2026, second reading.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Lauer.
I'd like to make a motion that the ordinance be adopted.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Lauer, seconded by Councilmember Fear. Discussion or comment on this one? Roll call.
Moeller.
Yes.
Smallwood.
Yes.
Fear.
Yes.
Vaughn.
Yes.
Pullman.
Yes.
Nab.
Yes.
Lauer.
Yes.
Ordinance adopted, 7-0.
We go to agenda item number 11, first reading of an ordinance involving the job classification titled Hamilton Management and Strategy Fellow.
An ordinance amending and supplementing Schedule D3 of the city's classification and compensation plan as set forth in emergency ordinance number EOR 2017-6-75, adopted June 28, 2017, as amended from time to time, to establish the new classification titled Hamilton Management and Strategy Fellow, first reading.
Thank you. We go to agenda item number 12, 2 readings of an emergency ordinance involving the State of Ohio Cooperative Purchasing Program.
An emergency ordinance authorizing the City of Hamilton, Ohio, to participate in the State of Ohio Cooperative Purchasing Program and directing the city manager to execute any and all documents necessary to participate in said cooperative purchasing program for the purchase of goods and services and ratifying all past agreements under the program, first of 2 readings.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Pullman.
make a motion that the rules be suspended, said ordinance be read a second time by its title.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Pullman, second by Councilmember Lauer. Roll call vote on that motion, please.
Moeller.
Yes.
Smallwood.
Yes.
Fear.
Yes.
Vaughn.
Yes.
Pullman.
Yes.
Nab.
Yes.
Lauer.
Yes.
Motion adopted, 7-0.
Second reading of the emergency ordinance, please.
An emergency ordinance authorizing the City of Hamilton, Ohio to participate in the State of Ohio Cooperative Purchasing Program and directing the city manager to execute any and all documents necessary to participate in said cooperative purchasing program for the purchase of goods and services and ratifying all past agreements under the program, second reading.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Pullman.
Make a motion that the ordinance be adopted.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Pullman, second by Councilmember Lauer. Any questions or comments on this one? I got a question, and maybe it's a stupid question, but we've got multiple cooperative purchasing program items on the agenda this evening. I imagine those all are programs that save us money and are an efficient way of getting goods and services. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay. Two hugely important people are shaking their head up and down. Glad we're doing that. I think it makes a lot of sense. And so, there's no other discussion or questions. Roll call vote, please.
Moeller.
Yes.
Smallwood.
Yes.
Fear.
Yes.
Vaughn.
Yes.
Pullman.
Yes.
Nab.
Yes.
Lauer.
Yes.
Ordinance adopted, 7-0.
Go to agenda item number 13, two readings of emergency ordinance involving a Southwest Ohio Purchasers for Government Procurement Program.
An emergency ordinance authorizing the City of Hamilton, Ohio to participate in the Southwest Ohio Purchasers for Government Procurement Program and directing the city manager to execute any and all documents necessary to participate in said program for the purchases of goods and services and ratifying all past agreements under the program. First of two readings.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Nab.
I move the rules be suspended and said ordinance be read a second time by its title.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Nab, second by Councilmember Pullman. Roll call vote on that motion, please.
Moeller.
Yes.
Smallwood.
Yes.
Fear.
Yes.
Vaughn.
Yes.
Pullman.
Yes.
Nab.
Yes.
Lauer.
Yes.
Motion adopted, 7-0.
Second reading of the emergency ordinance, please.
An emergency ordinance authorizing the City of Hamilton, Ohio to participate in the Southwest Ohio Purchasers for Government Procurement Program and directing the city manager to execute any and all documents necessary to participate in said program for the purchase of goods and services and ratifying all past agreements under the program. Second
Mayor.
reading.
Councilmember Nab.
I move that the ordinance be adopted.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Nab, second by Councilmember Pullman. Comments, questions on this one? Hearing none, roll call.
Moeller.
Yes.
Smallwood.
Yes.
Fear.
Yes.
Vaughn.
Yes.
Pullman.
Yes.
Nab.
Yes.
Lauer.
Yes.
Ordinance adopted, 7-0.
Let me go to agenda item number 14, two readings of emergency ordinance involving our participation in the General Services Administration Cooperative Purchasing Program.
An emergency ordinance authorizing the City of Hamilton, Ohio to participate in the U.S. General Services Administration Multiple Award Schedule Cooperative Purchasing Program and directing the city manager to execute any and all documents necessary to participate in said cooperative purchasing program for the purchase of goods and services and ratifying all past agreements under the program. First of two readings.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Vaughn.
I move the rules be suspended and said ordinance be read a second time by its title.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Vaughn, second by Councilmember Lauer. Roll call vote on that motion.
Moeller.
Yes.
Smallwood.
Yes.
Fear.
Yes.
Vaughn.
Yes.
Pullman.
Yes.
Nab.
Yes.
Lauer.
Yes.
Motion adopted, 7-0.
Second reading of the emergency ordinance, please.
An emergency ordinance authorizing the City of Hamilton, Ohio to participate in the U.S. General Services Administration Multiple Award Schedule Cooperative Purchasing Program and directing the city manager to execute any and all documents necessary to participate in said cooperative purchasing program for the purchase of goods and services and ratifying all past agreements under the program. Second reading.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Vaughn.
I move the ordinance be adopted.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Vaughn, second by Councilmember Lauer. Comments on this one? Hearing none. Roll call vote.
Moeller.
Yes.
Smallwood.
Yes.
Fear.
Yes.
Vaughn.
Yes.
Pullman.
Yes.
Nab.
Yes.
Lauer.
Yes.
Ordinance adopted, 7-0.
We go to agenda item number 15, two readings of emergency ordinance involving the cooperative purchasing program with Sourcewell.
An emergency ordinance authorizing and directing the city manager to execute a cooperative purchasing program participation agreement with Sourcewell to participate in said cooperative purchasing program for the purchase of goods and services and ratifying all past agreements under the program. First of two readings.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Pullman.
make a motion that the rules be suspended, said ordinance be read a second time by its title.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Pullman, second by Councilmember Fear. Roll call, please.
Moeller.
Yes.
Smallwood.
Yes.
Fear.
Yes.
Vaughn.
Yes.
Pullman.
Yes.
Nab.
Yes.
Lauer.
Yes.
Motion adopted, 7-0.
Second reading of the emergency ordinance, please.
Emergency ordinance authorizing and directing the city manager to execute a cooperative purchasing program participation agreement with Sourcewell to participate in said cooperative purchasing program for the purchase of goods and services and ratifying all past agreements under the program. Second reading.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Pullman.
make a motion that the ordinance be adopted.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Pullman, second by Councilmember Fear. Any discussion on this one? Hearing none, roll call.
Moeller,
Yes.
Smallwood,
Yes.
Fear,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
Pullman,
Yes.
Nab,
Yes.
Lauer.
Yes.
Ordinance adopted, 7-0.
Go to agenda item number 16, which is an ordinance involving home funds, American Rescue Plan funds. First reading of an ordinance.
An ordinance amending, appropriating, and budgeting up to $37,500 for fiscal year 2021 through 2022 Home Partnership Investment Program American Rescue Plan funds. First reading.
Go to agenda item number 17, first reading of an ordinance following our annual action plan update.
An ordinance approving the City of Hamilton Substantial Amendment Annual Action Plan Update for fiscal year 2025 through 2026, delineating the statement of objectives and proposed use of community development block grant funds, and authorizing the submittal of said plan to the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development, City of Hamilton, applicant, to amend, transfer, budget, and appropriate fiscal year 2025 through 2026 CDBG budgets up to $100,000 for public facility improvements. First reading.
Thank you. We go to agenda item number 18. Two readings of an emergency ordinance involving the job classification urban forestry technician.
An emergency ordinance amending the chart in section 1 of ordinance number OR 2026-7 to correct the typographical error for the class code for the newly established urban forestry technician classification. First of two readings.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Pullman.
make a motion that the rules be suspended, said ordinance read a second time by its title.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Pullman, second by Councilmember Fear. Roll call vote on that motion, please.
Moeller,
Yes?
Smallwood,
Yes.
Fear,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
Pullman,
Yes.
Nab,
Yes.
Lauer.
Yes.
Motion adopted, 7-0.
Okay, second reading of that emergency ordinance, please.
An emergency ordinance amending the chart in section 1 of ordinance number OR 2026-2-7 to correct a typographical error for the class code for the newly established urban forestry technician classification. Second reading.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Pullman.
make a motion that the ordinance be adopted.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Pullman, second by Councilmember Fear. Any discussion on this one? Hearing none, roll call.
Moeller,
Yes?
Smallwood,
Yes.
Fear,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
Pullman,
Yes.
Nab,
Yes.
Lauer.
Yes.
Ordinance adopted, 7-0.
Now go to agenda item number 19, which involves our bicycle and pedestrian counter program.
A resolution authorizing and directing the execution of a memorandum of agreement between the City of Hamilton and the Ohio Kentucky Indiana Regional Council of Governments relative to the bicycle and pedestrian counter program.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Vaughn.
I move the resolution be adopted.
Second.
Made by Councilmember Vaughn, second by Councilmember Nab. Comments, questions? Hearing none. Roll call, please.
Moeller,
Yes?
Smallwood,
Yes.
Fear,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
Pullman,
Yes.
Nab,
Yes.
Lauer.
Yes.
Resolution adopted, 7-0.
Thank you. We go to agenda item number 20, resolution involving a community reinvestment area agreement with Kroger Limited Partnership, North Brookwood Avenue.
A resolution authorizing and directing the city manager to execute a community reinvestment area agreement with Kroger Limited Partnership 1 related to a project at North Brookwood Avenue, parcel numbers P64111330000057 and P64111330000058.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Lauer.
I'd like to make a motion that the resolution be adopted.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Lauer, second by Councilmember Fear. Comments or questions on this one? Hearing none, roll call.
Moeller,
Yes?
Smallwood,
Yes.
Fear,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
Pullman,
Yes.
Nab,
Yes.
Lauer.
Yes.
Resolution adopted, 7-0.
We get to agenda item number 21, which is a resolution appointing Patrick Bach, Hamilton Civil Service Commission.
A resolution appointing Patrick Bach to serve on the City of Hamilton Civil Service Commission for the term commencing January 1st, 2026 and terminating December 31st, 2026.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember
I
Nab.
move the resolution be adopted.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Nab, second by Councilmember Lauer. Any comments or questions on this one?
Mr. Mayor,
Please.
glad to see Pat Bach engaging, and I think he's going to do a fine job. Very happy about that appointment.
We most certainly will. Any other comments? Okay, roll call vote.
Moeller,
Yes?
Smallwood,
Yes.
Fear,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
Pullman,
Yes.
Nab,
Yes.
Lauer.
Yes.
Resolution adopted, 7-0.
Okay, audience of the city manager.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We had some exciting news at the end of last week. We found out through an announcement by Governor DeWine and the Ohio Department of Development that the City of Hamilton is going to receive $2.5 million to support our Build Back the Block initiative. And that's exciting news when we're talking about rebuilding single-family homes in our traditional neighborhoods. The infrastructure, a lot of times in those neighborhoods, has been around for many, many years. And one of the biggest costs to new home construction is reconnecting those home sites to the existing infrastructure, and this money will go directly towards bringing down those costs and helping us push forward with our goal of 100 new homes by the end of 2030. And I think it's a great acknowledgement of the dual purpose of the Build Back the Block program. That's affordable housing and workforce availability. I want to thank Liz and Lauren, who are here tonight, Taylor, and then they were assisted in this effort by Alan Messer as well. But it's a big win for the community. It's a big win for Build Back the Block. So, thank you.
Great. Audience of City Council.
Mr. Mayor, if I can tag on to what City Manager Buchheit just said. The groundbreaking 2 weeks ago, maybe it was now, on additional homes was really exciting. And I think what made this groundbreaking so exciting was some of the homeowners, future homeowners, were there with their children, small children, shovels in the ground, and you don't often get to do that. So I think it was really exciting for them. But I also, along with that program, I want to announce something, and I want to read it so I get it right. There are financial literacy classes being offered. And many of the people, of course, who are buying these homes are first-time homeowners who really don't even know what the first step is. And we've all been there if we've ever bought a home. So in conjunction with First Financial Bank and the City of Hamilton, we're offering classes, and it's called Your Money, Learn to Own It. And it's a home buying class. And what it will do is it's free for in-person Hamilton residents who might be considering buying a home, not knowing whether they could afford it or not, or what are the steps, what do I need to know. We have 100 homes going to be built, so that's a lot of new homeowners. So I think these classes are really important, and it's important that they're free, and they will help people understand the steps to homeownership with a variety of different topics, including credit scores, budgeting, mortgage basics, how much home can someone afford, and participants will also have the opportunity to receive one-on-one guidance from the First Financial Bank professionals. So you're getting all of this for free to figure it out. Can I do this? I know there are aspirational goals that we all have, and sometimes you just don't know where to start. And so I think this is an excellent opportunity. I hope citizens take advantage of it. Beginning March 17th, 6 to 7 p.m., and it's right here in City Council Chambers, 345 High Street. And they're going to continue through October. So please, anyone interested in owning a new home, one of our Build Back the Block, please come by and take advantage of the program. And if I can say one other thing.
Oh, please.
Thank you to all of the 500 plus attendees at our neighborhood summit last week. How exciting. If you've been on social media, you see the picture. It filled the auditorium at Hamilton High School. Wonderful programs. Many of our partners are here. All of council was here, an opportunity to meet residents one-on-one. those people, our Department of Neighborhoods and all of our city staff sitting out here, everyone had a hand in it. So thank you. It was a wonderful, wonderful day.
As it was. Mr. Mayor.
Councilmember Knapp.
2 weeks ago, I had the pleasure and the honor to be able to represent Hamilton along with our leadership team from infrastructure, Edwin Porter and Bill Hudson in Washington, D.C. It was the 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th of February. Our city is so well situated in the state of Ohio. There were 60 members from the state of Ohio there for OMEA. There were approximately 600 members from APPA nationally. I had the occasion to sit next to a gentleman from Spokane, Washington. He said, "You're from Hamilton, Ohio." So all the way from the state of Washington, that our utility is so highly regarded. We had the opportunity to meet with members of Senate and discuss with them, Bernie Moreno and Senator Husted, discuss with them our goals in Hamilton, and Executive Director Porter spoke in the audience that we were in with those senators and things about what we're doing in Hamilton and how important some of the initiatives are to us. We had the opportunity then to visit with Congressman Warren Davidson's office and discuss with them, again, the initiatives in Hamilton, but how proud we should all be of our utility team and what we're accomplishing here in Hamilton, the membership in AMP, and talking with those people and inviting us to the table to be such an important part of what we do in our utility here in Hamilton. So again, Edwin, congratulations to you and Bill Porter, or Bill Hudson, I mean, for our leadership. I certainly enjoyed the privilege of joining you and Bill in Washington, D.C. I look forward to the next conference that we'll be going to later this summer. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Lauer.
I'd like to congratulate Big Blue basketball. They didn't get exactly where they wanted, but they came very far. They overachieved the whole time, the whole season. And I just want to wish them congratulations. And I also want to wish Baden High School basketball, boys basketball, congratulations too, as they continue on in the state tournament, along with Tegan. I'm real excited about her. I really think she's going to come off with that pin. I'm believing in her, and I'm rooting for her. But there are a lot of great things going on in our schools right now, both parochial as well as our public schools. And I am so very proud of the progress we made. And we're going to have one big announcement coming up with our schools, and I'm very excited about the project.
Great. Anyone else? About the groundbreaking last week, one of the partners was Habitat for Humanity, and I just believe they are a great partner with a great business model for housing initiative. I also got to thank First Financial Bank for the literacy program. I mean, that is tremendous. They get it. It's important for everyone to have some level of financial literacy for important decisions and everything like that. I also want to say good luck to Tegan, whether it's a pen or just by number. I mean, she'd be great up on the podium representing Hamilton, Ohio. And Mary Ann and Nicolette, I mean, I hope, wishing the best of luck in Mary Ann in her competition. And other than that, I just want to say thank you, Steve Colwell, because you've been everywhere at a lot of these various events. And from my First Financial Bank on March 25th, there's, I think, a ribbon cutting for their community room. And that's pretty exciting, and they're very proud about that. So, way to go, First Financial Bank. Good deal. If there's nothing else as far as audience of council, is there a request for executive session, Mr. City Manager?
There is, Mr. Mayor, and if I could just append my comments, and I want to talk about the summit real quick. And there's an army of volunteers that made that event successful, and a lot of those volunteers were our city staff that spent last Saturday all morning ahead of the event setting up, and late in the afternoon. A lot of work went into that one day, but there was work weeks and months ahead. Again, an army of folks, but that, like every great cause, there was a leader of that, and Sarah Silva, led the charge, and I thanked her personally, but I also want to thank her publicly. She did an amazing job. Our executive session, Mr. Mayor, would be to consider the appointment, employment dismissal, discipline, promotion, or demotion of a public employee or official, and the investigation or charge of complaints against a public employee.
Is there a motion that council go into executive session for those stated purposes given by the city manager?
So moved. Second.
Motion by council member Nab, second by council member Pullman. Roll call vote on that motion, please.
Moeller,
Yes.
Smallwood,
Yes.
Fear,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
Pullman,
Yes.
Nab,
Yes.
Lauer.
Yes.
Motion adopted, 7-0.
So we're going into executive session at 7:53. We'll come out of executive session just to open up the meeting to adjourn the meeting. Thank you all for being here.